Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's talk Love and Marriage Huntsville as a whole, right? If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns on various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you enjoy that type of content, please consider hitting that subscribe button, thumbsing up the video, hopping into the comment section. Let's talk about everything that has really happened, not only this season, but just, I guess, social media wise, just everything about Love and Marriage Huntsville, because where do we go from here? So the past 3 weeks, we have been watching the Love and Marriage Huntsville season 5 reunion. All right, so the season just wrapped up last night. A very long, draining season. I think the season had close to 30 episodes or something. Very long, very draining, very just full of ugh. Okay, so I guess I'm confused as where does this show go from here? Because these past 3 weeks, these past 3 hours of television that we have watched with this reunion showed one thing and one thing only about this cast. Melody does not like anybody on the cast, and nobody on the cast likes Melody. Where does the show, like honestly and truly, where does the show go from here? So correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But to my understanding, Melody and Martell pitched this show. Carlos took what the idea that they had, added in the Scotts, and that's where the show went from there. I don't know if Melody and Martell pitched the show just to talk about them as a family, to talk about their careers, their marriage, but Carlos must have said we need to get an ensemble cast. So he decided to add in the Scotts. And that's where Love and Marriage came from. As annoyed as I was constantly hearing about the comeback group, these damn 40 acres, I miss those days of the show. I miss season 1 and maybe season 2. Back when the show actually had at least more substance than it has now. And by substance, I just mean storyline. Because the storyline this past season, this 30 episode season, has really just been about Mel's beef with everybody else on the cast. We sprinkle in a little of Tiffany and Lewis, which we don't care about because they're annoying. We sprinkle in a little bit of Destiny, which we don't care about because she doesn't give anything. We sprinkle in a little bit of Stormy, which isn't a lot because Stormy was a friend of the show. I don't know if Stormy is coming back as a main character in that capacity, which she should because her and her husband are married. They have a business. We could get more of Stormy's life. So much of this show, this past season, has centered around Melody and Martell's divorce, their fighting, and what they're going to do from there. It's just such a missed opportunity. A very missed opportunity. Miss Wanda has completely sucked the energy out of a lot of these episodes. And I know that a lot of people do like Miss Wanda. I get that. Y'all like Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda's entertaining, right? Miss Wanda would be cool if Miss Wanda wasn't causing discord amongst other cast members. Because we've seen Miss Wanda get into it with Martell. We've seen Miss Wanda get into it with Melody. We've seen Miss Wanda get into it with Kimmy. We've seen Miss Wanda get into it with Marceau. If Miss Wanda had her own storyline, at least to offset her annoying disposition on the show, again, it wouldn't be as bad. it wouldn't be as bad. But where does the show go from here? Because what we have learned on this reunion, especially part 2, which was last week, is that Melody doesn't give a damn about these people. The only true like working relationship that she might possibly have and be able to salvage is Kimmy. Her and Kimmy seem to be on one accord. Her and Kimmy seem to be just fine. They both understand we're not besties. We're not kicking it, and going and doing all this stuff on the weekends. But we are cordial. We have a working relationship. I'm sure, not I'm sure, Kimmy has said that Melody has been there for her when she has needed her. They text, she checkups on her. That's fine. But the other 5 main cast members, and then you add in Miss Wanda, you add in Destiny, you add in Stormy, you add in Tiffany and Lou. Those are working relationships for Melody. Working relationships. So let's look at how this next season is going to go. It has been said that they are already filming, which I think is wild. Reality TV, they work these people to the bone. I feel like they are always filming. It's like the Tyler Perry level of work. Y'all know Tyler Perry works his cast too, okay? To and fro. So they're already filming. Do we care? Like, let's think about this. Do we care? Because what are we going to talk about? Because I feel like so much, whenever the reunion is kind of explosive, as if this reunion, quote unquote, was, that's what ends up monopolizing the season. Because that's what everybody is talking about. So let's talk about what happened with everybody during the reunion. So let's start with Melody. We find out that Melody was upset with Maurice because Maurice did an interview with Kimmy where Kimmy was asked if her and Melody are friends. Maurice, for whatever reason, spoke up and said, no, they aren't. Now, we know that the fan base and social media are like the unofficial extra main characters on this show, which is very annoying. So it's like either you have to be a Melody stan or you have to be a Scott stan. And from there, it causes so much discourse and turmoil and just annoyance that it kind of makes you not want to watch the show, to be real. So we have Melody, who gets along. We find out that she's mad at Maurice for that. We know that Melody and Tisha will never come back together, which is perfectly fine. It should be fine for both of them. But you can tell whether people want to admit it or not. Letitia feels a way that she is no longer friends with Melody. I think what Letitia wanted, because in Letitia's mind, she always had the one up on Melody that she is still married. That her marriage is still going seemingly the way that she wants it to. So the fact that Melody didn't cower into a shell of a person during her divorce with Martell or after, Melody's career is thriving. She has her music. She has her music. But she also has her skincare line. Didn't she have like some clothing collaboration? Like she's still doing speaking engagements. She still has her master classes. Melody has not suffered in any way. And I think that bothers Tisha because in her mind, she can't have the leg up on Melody that she wants if she's still perfectly fine. So they're never going to be cool, and that's fine. I don't think that Melody has a huge issue with Marceau. But I know that it's Melody and Marceau's, whatever they have, their cordialness, we'll call it that, bothers Tisha. But I don't think Melody has a huge issue with Marceau. We know that Melody is not cool with Miss Wanda because Miss Wanda hits below the belt and brings up their children. And not only brings up their children, but she's bringing up their children's appearance. Remember, Miss Wanda talked about their daughter's hair and compared to Letitia's children's hair. Now she's talking about the whole sugar mama might not be Martell's child. So we know that she's not getting along with her. We know from the blogs that Melody is not cool with Stormy. I don't look at a lot of Love and Marriage Huntsville social media blogs and stuff like that. It's too much. It's way too much. It's so far it's so chaotic and so far past what anybody should be worrying about. It's too much with them. We know that she doesn't get along with Destiny anymore. We found out last night that even though they seemingly agreed to be cordial during the season, now they're not cool. Destiny accused Melody of hacking Martell's phone. Do I believe that? Yes. Because Melody's entire face dropped. Melody's entire face dropped. There's no other way to plausibly explain why Martell's phone calls would be routing to your phone. But see, Melody played herself because she should have never said that's why, you were calling Martell 1 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning. Do I think that Destiny and Martell ever messed around? Maybe. Do I think it was while he was married to Melody? No. Melody wanted Destiny to pick a side. She wanted Destiny to pick a side. Destiny did not want to pick a side. Destiny should not have picked a side. But what Destiny should have done is remain neutral. If you are going to continue to be friends or attempt to be friends with a couple that is now separated and are in, let's be real, a volatile divorce, not the best divorce, you should remain neutral. But Destiny wasn't doing that. Destiny was absolutely running back and forth between the two, talking shit between the two. Melody has Kiki, but Kiki, seemingly flipped on her at the reunion too. We find out that Melody has been trying to bring people onto the show to try to get at Tisha. And I don't think it was to try to necessarily tear Tisha down. I think it was more so to, let's expose Tisha so that all the stuff that I've been saying, people can see that I'm not the one that's in the wrong. Tisha's in the wrong. It might be time for Melody to walk away from the show. Walk away from the show. And I just kind of feel like walk away with your dignity. Walk away on your own terms. But these people sitting on this cast, they don't like you. And you don't like them. So there's truly no point to be on the show. Tisha and Marceau. If you're going to continue to let Marceau play in your face, that's on you. That is on you. But what Tisha has to stop saying and doing is saying that she has the absolute perfect marriage. Saying that you absolutely trust your husband. Nobody is saying that you should leave your husband because social media is telling you that you should. But you were making it seem as if, God forbid, no, I have never, ever had anything go on with Marceau that would make me question anything. But then you're talking about how Marceau, you're going through his phone for one. Then for two, you found a indecent, we'll call it, an indecent picture in his phone. It shook you so much that you called your cousin to talk about it. Here's the thing. If Marceau is cheating on you and you're okay with it, if you and Marceau have some type of agreement and you're okay with it, then just sit back and stay quiet. But Tisha has always played her hand because Tisha was so reveling in the fact that Melody and Martell got divorced, so now me and Marceau are better than them. That's really what it is. That Tisha would throw extra on top and on top and on top and on top. And she low-key kinda got exposed on the reunion. We have Kimmy and Maurice, who Carlos called them out a bunch of times. You know, he was shocked that y'all are just okay with everything that was going on. Y'all are really complicit in it. For Kimmy to say, I don't agree with this, I think it went too far. But why haven't you said anything at all throughout this season? Why haven't you said anything at all throughout the reunion? Kimmy knows that a lot of the stuff that the Scotts are doing, that Miss Wanda are doing, that Destiny is doing is wrong. But see, Kimmy doesn't want to rock the boat. So if instead of Kimmy just being like, I personally don't agree with any of this, Kimmy sits back and lets the foolishness unfold until she gets called out about it. That entire conversation when Miss Wanda, when they're trying to play semantics and say that Miss Wanda wasn't talking about the baby, she's talking about Melody. For Carlos to say, I'm shocked that nobody, like, y'all are all just trying to backpedal. For Kimmy to finally say, who, me? I don't agree with this. I think Miss Wanda went too far. That is literally what everybody should have said, because it was Miss Wanda going too far. Maurice stood inside of Madani with Miss Wanda and laughed and made faces and played around with her, all while Miss Wanda was saying that she had pictures of who Sugar Mama's real daddy is, and that's, you know, Martell should go get a DNA test. All for them now to be like, no, it was more about Melody. Instead of checking Miss Wanda's ass in. Because as much as Carlo thinks that Miss Wanda's bringing in ratings, Miss Wanda's going to be the downfall of this show. We got literally nothing about anybody's life. Destiny's still saying that, well, I am vulnerable. In production, they cut that part out. That's the only time Kimmy piped up. Kimmy piped up about Destiny. Everything else she sat back and was cool with. Where does the show go from here? Where does it go from here? What is Melody going to film about next season? Are Letitia and Marcel going to actually film about their family, film about their marriage, film about their life? Will we see them filming about Scott, filming more about Black? We didn't see Maurice fix not one person's credit. We saw him try to help Destiny. We didn't see them build anything this season. What happened to Miss Wanda's food truck that she was trying to get? What happened to Martell studying for the builder's license? There was so much more stuff that we could have been exposed to. So much more stuff we could have been exposed to that they could have used to film, but instead they chose to focus on big drama to pull ratings in, and it kind of backfired because when a lot of people began to boycott, or was it called like the Love and Marriage Huntsville blackout, when they had that blackout for, was it a couple weeks or so, when people stopped watching, the ratings tanked. I think Carlos needs to really look at it and really reevaluate what he wants to do with the show. But the way that the show was going, you're going to continue to lose viewers. It was way too chaotic. Way too chaotic. You have the scene where Carlos is crying, telling Martell that he still loves Melody, and he knows that he does. Melody is crying because she loves Martell still too. But what a lot of people are missing is that these are two people that were in a marriage for where they married 14 years. They have 4 children out of that. Their world blew up. Melody's world blew up on TV. They have been filming this reality show consistently since. They haven't had a chance to sit back and really think about the fact that their marriage is over. Their family dynamic has changed. Because while that's going on, they have the fans, and then they have Marcel's side chick and his baby mama in their face all the time. Yes, they still love each other. They may not like each other anymore, but they still love each other. They both miss that familial unit that they had. They do. For the people that were saying that Melody and Carlos orchestrated that and set that up, y'all sound stupid. I think it's weird to have such a visceral reaction to one person on the show. You cannot like Melody. That's fine. But some of the stuff that people say is wild. Some of the stuff that people say about Letitia and Marceau is wild. Some of the stuff that people say about Destiny and Stormy is wild. It's like, it's okay to not like people on reality TV. But it's also wild to me the way that some of y'all big them up. I've seen people say no matter what Melody says or does, she's still better than everybody else to me. That's weird. It's giving a little weirdo. It's weird. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like, honestly and truly, where does the show go from here if everybody is not still filming together? If one person is on the outs, it is time for Melody to walk away from the show. It just is. I mean, honestly and truly, it might be time for Martell to walk away from the show too. Because as much as people want to say that Melody is the problem and she's the real villain of the show, Martell has also been going to every cast member telling them that, you know, Melody is a terrible person and she's this and she's that. Tisha saying Melody had a dark soul was weird as fuck. Because we have seen Tisha say Melody's name probably 3 times more than we have seen Melody reference Tisha. Melody was smart enough to have somebody else do her dirty work. She had she had Kiki come on and do it. But let's not act like Tisha has not been low-key obsessed with Melody as well. Let me know what you guys thought about the reunion, about the season, about where you think the show should go. They said everybody is back. So I guess the Whitlows are going to be back. Stormy will be back. Destiny will be back. Miss Wanda will be back. And then the original 6 will be back. Let's talk about it down below. If you have not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. Hop in the comment section. And I will catch you guys in the next one.